who is the founding president and CEO of JACCD Ghana, would continue with that. So with a round of applause, let's welcome Mrs. Adai.
The Honorable Deputy Minister of Communication, Honorable Ama Pokia-Boateng, the Chairman for the occasion, Professor Emeritus Stephen Ade, invited ladies and gentlemen, good morning. On behalf of the board, the president, faculty and students, it is my greatest pleasure to welcome you all to the JACCD Design Institute Africa. We are delighted to see you. A special welcome to those of you who are on our campus for the first time. I hope you will discover over the next few hours that you have entered into an active, inspiring, diverse, and warm community. At JACCD DI, we are on a mission to prepare and build emerging talent for excellence in design by stimulating disruptive innovations, developing interdisciplinary and collaborated projects, and be the drivers of the global creative economy. And therefore, we have unique curated programs in graphic design, fashion design, fine art, interior design, special effects, and multimedia productions. Being the nation's leading private design university college, JACCD DI offers programs under certificate, diploma, and degree. At the center of JACCD DI experience is our new general education program, the JACCD Innovation Hub. The hub is the common educational experience for all our students. Through the hub, students will develop and explore the university's rich array of learning. It is our hope, per this partnership of this program, to register patents, begin startup companies, deliver papers, write articles and books, give performances, mount exhibitions, and teach courses. All ways of taking into new works are new ideas into the world with the main aim of being problem solvers. I speak for the entire board, the president of the institution, faculty, staff, and the student community of JACCD DIA in saying we are so happy to have you made the decision to join us today. Welcome to our space. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Akosua Adai, for giving us this place to host this particular one. Now to the organizers of this very one, JACCD Ghana, and the founding president and CEO is also here. Ladies and gentlemen, with a round of applause, let's welcome Mr. Kingsley Kweku Pinkra to give us an address. Let's welcome him, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. MC. Mr. Chairman, Professor Emeritus Stephen Ade, a renowned economist, leadership expert, social entrepreneur, and chairman for Accra College of Medicine. Your Excellency, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who has been represented by the Deputy Minister for Communication and Digitization, Honorable Ama Pokia-Boateng. Your Excellency Idiola Kushulawi, who is joining us online, who is the Secretary General of World Assembly of Youth, who happens to be the face of all youth in the world, spearheading youth policies, creating jobs and others, which has been headquartered in Malaysia, who is also joining us via Zoom. Professor Greg Baventen, who is the Executive Director of Queen's University, Denim Deshpande, Queen's Innovation Center, and other faculty members in Canada, who is also joining us via Zoom. Partners from Canada, my good friend Matt Huxley, who is also the founder for Lodogo Incorporated in Canada, who is also joining us via Zoom. CEOs, business leaders, His Excellency, who is also joining us via Zoom. You all will be recognized accordingly. We have friends of the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you all to this important official launching of CD Ghana's Entrepreneurship Jobs for All project and opening of JACCD Innovation Center, which is in partnership with Queen's University in Canada, Lodogo Incorporated in Canada, JACCD Design Institute Africa, and many other partner universities, including KNUST, University of Ghana, Data Link University College, and many others. This project will address poverty and youth unemployment in Ghana, and I'm grateful we are making history on this International Youth Day. The program will provide free entrepreneurship training, mentorship, and funding to thousands of Ghanaian youth as they build and launch their businesses. And I'm grateful for you all for honoring our invitation. As the project lead and director for this project, I believe this launch wouldn't have come at any better time than this. And I'm happy we are celebrating it in a grand style, bringing hope to the unemployed and fresh graduates of our country, Ghana, that they can also work for good. I would like to first express my heartfelt gratitude to our chairman, Professor Emeritus Stephen Ade, who is a renowned economist, leadership expert, social entrepreneur, and the chairman of Accra College of Medicine, and also the former rector of GIMPA, who has never, although being a former rector of GIMPA, who has never been an indolent retiree. Prof, you have been recognized. A fellow Adansi for your support. I'm also from Adansi, Fomena. So a fellow Adansi for your support in accepting to chair this gathering. You have always been supporting CD's Ghana initiative, and I'm pretty much grateful for honoring this invitation again. This project, Mr. Chairman, this project is the implementation stage outlined in our resolution, if you can recall, at the International Symposium, which was being organized at Golden Tulip, of which you personally was the keynote speaker in 2017. This was being organized for foreign diplomats, government ministers, professors, and business experts under the theme Youth Unemployment, a Call to Action. With your noble guidance, it became clear from all deliberations that for us to be able to address youth unemployment in this country, it is only through one key area, which is entrepreneurship. And I'm grateful you are here again to support this initiative. I'm grateful to Our Excellency, Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia, who's been represented by Honorable Amapoma Boateng, who is the MP for Asante Boateng, Asante Drabing, and the Deputy Minister of Communication and Digitization for also honoring our invitation. To my good friend, I would say a good friend because we have been friends for quite a long time now, which is close to 10 years, the Secretary General of the World Assembly of Youth, who also happens to be the Director of World Youth Institute. Her Excellency Diola Pashola joining us via Zoom. You are most recognized and you are welcome. I appreciate your lasting relationship and grateful for joining us today. To another good friend who is also joining us via Zoom, His Excellency Roland Roberts, you are highly recognized in today's gathering, who happens to be the United States of America National Advisor to Government and founder of Transform Africa. This is a very great person, and he has always been taking upon himself to transform Africa. A very senior diplomat from United States of America. His Excellency Roland Robert, you are highly recognized for joining us today. His Excellency, I will soon reach out to you after this program for us to know how best, as you have been supporting Africa, how best we can help Ghana as well address the poverty and youth unemployment we are battling with in this country. You have been leading United States delegation to South Sudan, assisting in their stabilization of their transitional to permanent government. You have served as an advisor to US-China trade war. As a renowned speaker all over the world, even including Harvard University and many top universities, we are grateful, His Excellency, for joining us today. Professor Greg Bavington and his team from Queen's University, Denis Deshpande Innovation Center, the training institution for this program. This program, which is the launching of the Youth Jobs for All, wouldn't have been possible without you accepting to provide this training. And we are very much grateful. We are very much grateful. It's costing Queen's University millions of dollars, because I was pretty much informed for every single participant would have paid 54,000 Canadian dollar. And they are losing all this money to provide this free entrepreneurship training and mentorship to Ghanaians free of charge, of which they are accepting to train as many Ghanaians as we'll be recruiting to give to them. Prof. Greg Bavington, we are much grateful for this opportunity you have given Ghanaian youth. You are now the first best university in Canada and the third best university when it comes to impact ranking in the whole world. We know throughout this program, Queen's University will be the first in the whole world making an impact, and we know it will be possible. To my good friend Matt Huxley, who I started this initiative with, my great partner, every morning, afternoon, evening, I've always been with this great man who is Matt Huxley in Canada, planning how all this program in terms of the training and mentorship will be. Matt Huxley, you have been recognized and we are grateful for this opportunity. Matt Huxley leads an innovation, he leads a mentorship team in Canada, which is Lodogo Incorporated. And Lodogo Incorporated is a group of Canadian business experts who have come together to make an impact. This group, which is Lodogo Incorporated, have taken upon themselves to provide free mentorship to Ghanaians. Free. So whilst Queen's University trains you, you'll be getting a free mentorship program from Lodogo Incorporated. He'll be sharing much with us as we give him the opportunity as we move on. To Madame Joyce Ababiu, who is also the third partner in this great initiative. We are very much grateful. Madame Joyce Ababiu have accepted to host us in person, and I'm pretty much informed. The reason why Queen's University is not here is because we have been opted to choose between whether they come for the luncheon or they join us for the in-person training. So certainly we'll be getting the representative from Queen's University to come when we do the in-person training. And we are grateful to Madame Joyce Ababiu for giving us all this great edifice to use for the in-person training. We are very much grateful. We are very much grateful. And for hosting us today as well. And I must say, JACCD has been the best quality arts university in the whole of West Africa. And we know it will only be in West Africa, but it will be globally as well. With this great edifice, I know there is a great achievement to come. And Madam, we are very much grateful for that. Let's give it up to her again. Madam, we are very much grateful. We are very much grateful. We are very much grateful. I'm also fortunate to be joined in by the great mentees I've been training. I happen to be a mentor for Queen's University, Queen's Young Leaders Program, which has been established by Queen Elizabeth in UK. President Clinton Global Initiative University, which has been established by President Clinton. Young African Leaders Initiative, the Tony Elumelu Entrepreneurship Program, and many others, as a global mentor. And I'm grateful, majority of my mentees are also in here to support. All my mentees are very much welcome to this gathering. We are fortunate also to be joined in by Angogo Ashanti. I know when they are leaving, they'll be giving us good before they leave. They'll be giving us good before they leave. Mr. Daniel Bentum and Mr. Emmanuel Beidu, you are highly recognized. You are welcome to this program. I've been pretty much informed as well that as part of their social corporate responsibility, they also want to make entrepreneurship a key in addressing poverty and youth unemployment in Adanse. And they will also be part of this program for us to make an impact in the whole of Ghana. One aspect of this is whilst they even give training and mentorship, they will also be providing startup capitals to all those that Angogo Ashanti is going to recruit for this program. And we are grateful, Angogo Ashanti, for joining us for this program. To other universities, Data Link University, the founder for Data Link, Dr. Ernest Ansah, is also here with us. So you are highly recognized. You are welcome to this place. We have his professor, which is the president, Professor Aswarajisi, is also with us. We are also highly recognized for honoring our invitation to this program. And all the teams that we came with. We have other partners, Kia University and University of Ghana also joining in. We are not through with their partnership, not done signing the MOU, of which we are in the process of doing that. It is an opportunity for the whole country, so we are reaching out to as many as we could reach, and we are grateful for all of them for also joining us. I just saw Data Data Bank also joining in. You should be giving us an investment package also before you leave. And we are very much grateful for that opportunity, Mr. Prince Ampofo and your team. One good news from Data Bank Foundation is, as part of our program, when we begin, there will be a pitch competition where the winners will be given funds. And Data Bank Foundation have taken it upon themselves to open an M fund for the first and the second and the third winners. Let's do it up, let's give them a hand for this great generosity. So all those that we are going to train, as we are connecting people to mentorship opportunities, through the pitching competition, they will also be getting funds as well. And we are really much grateful for this opportunity. I invited the Association of Skills Development, which is formerly the Unemployed Graduate Association. It has been an opportunity for the unemployed graduates, and they are also with us, so we are also much grateful. You'll be getting jobs to do. We will be assisting you to create jobs for yourselves. We'll be assisting you. That's what this program stands for. This entrepreneurship opportunity comes at no time than this COVID time where we are all witnessing collapse of many businesses. And I'm grateful we are launching this initiative at the UN International Day. I believe we are celebrating this day better than any other country because of this great opportunity Queen's University is giving us. And I'm really much grateful for all of you for honoring our invitation. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Pinkra, for the address there. But of course, I noticed some people didn't hear their names. That doesn't mean that you're not recognized. So please put your hands together for yourselves for your presence here. We really do appreciate you coming this morning. Thank you so much. And we're also streaming live on Facebook at JACCD Design Institute Africa. So you can get onto Facebook and you can share so the rest of the world will know what is happening here. And also we are making use of technology as some of our partners are in Canada. It's around, it's almost 6:10 a.m. in Canada, and they are joining us on Zoom there. Thank you so much for joining us this morning for this all-important program here at JACC, the Design Institute. Now, I'm going to quickly introduce our chairman as we take his remarks. And as a media man, I know him, and it's a privilege to see him here. He's a renowned economist, leadership expert, social entrepreneur, and the chairman of the Accra College of Medicine. And he is also a former Director General and Director of the Ghana Institute of Management and Public Administration, GEMPA. And ladies and gentlemen, he's also a former chairperson of the National Development Planning Committee, or Commission actually, under the Nana Akufo-Addo government. And ladies and gentlemen, our chairman for this event is Professor Emeritus Stephen Ade. Let's appreciate you, ladies and gentlemen, as we take his remarks this morning. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us this morning.
Good morning to all of you. With such an elaborate introduction by the chairperson, I don't want to go through. I would say standing on all the protocols, recognizing only two additional, the representative of His Excellency, the President, Honorable Deputy Minister. Also a joy of meeting Mrs. Abebio. I think for the first time, yes, but my son used to teach in your institute part-time, Timothy. So I knew by that, and all of you, it's a pleasure to be here. I was wondering why I was invited, but now the cat is out. The chairman comes from 5 miles from my village. So my route to fame is being close to his village. I have here also my good friends from Data Link University. One of the big challenges that this generation is facing is unemployment. And and there's no doubt at all. I always tell the younger people that too bad they were born too late. Because when I graduated from the University of Ghana, I had 4 job offers to be an economist at the Bank of Ghana, also an economist at the Ministry of Finance, to be a deputy manager, bank manager for Barclays Bank, and also to be an employee of now Ghana Investment Promotion Center, which was called Capital Investment Board then. And these days, people are staying up to 5, even some to 10 years without jobs. But this brings up the definition of a job. Because of our historical background, actually I'm a professor at JACCD University, and one of the pillars on which that institute stands is creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship. As a result, up to 10% of our students come out and they don't look for a job. They straight away from school create a job and employ others. And this mindset, when I came in here, I sat outside just to catch up with my telephone calls a bit. Since we were running about 1 hour late, I think we were trying to make sure that the Canadians are awake. And I was so impressed with the chairs I sat on, made up of just iron rods, put together. And it's so wonderful that I took pictures of it and sent it to one of my mentees, because this is a wonderful opportunity for a big industry in the country. And being an entrepreneur is having your eyes open wherever you go and seeking to do yourselves. As a nation, we are faced with serious unemployment situation, and it engages my mind a lot. In the introduction, they mentioned me as a social entrepreneur. Even when I was a public servant, and I was a public servant, both national and international, until I reached 60. When I was in Gimpa, I didn't see myself, excuse me to say, as a typical public servant. The question is that given this opportunity, what can you do for your nation in terms of entrepreneurship? And at least for 20 years, we transformed Gimpa, employing 400 people with the government not paying a peso for 20 years. It's the only university, public sector university in Africa, which for 20 years was 100% self-financing. I wouldn't disclose it, but I'm involved in other social enterprises. I like the social aspect because, when you are at my age, we say that, when we needed something to eat, we didn't get it. When we can afford it, when you eat it, they say you will die. So you have to spend your time in impacting others. And I'm involved in many social enterprises. That means applying the same principle of an entrepreneur, except that when you get the profit, you use it to expand what you intended to do. That's what the social entrepreneur is all about. And at this moment, I have almost 300 people in my employment. And we hope that by the end of the decade, if I'm still around, we may be heading towards 1,000. So the opportunities for engagement of our people, but let me say that two things, and then since I'm supposed to chair, not to give a lecture, let me say two things. First of all, apart from communist countries, which for good reason we don't want to become, nowhere does the government employ people. At this moment, people think that, there are so many people employed by the government of Ghana. The government of Ghana, out of the 31, 32 million people, of which, let's say, about 60% are in the labor force, excluding the older ones, employs only 750,000 people approximately. And most of them are teachers and nurses. If you take them out, the government is employing less than 200 to 250,000. And therefore, even if the government dumps its employees, the average person will be unemployed, if that is the route we are taking. What is the baseline of it? Ghanaians must and have always employed themselves. And this, despite what NPP and NDC will say, they are never going to employ you. And they can't. However, the government is the most single catalyst of entrepreneurship in any country. In other words, creating the atmosphere so that the people can employ themselves. And that brings me to, quickly, the type of things that must come together in order to get our young people employed, of which this is an important element. First has to do with attitude. If your attitude is to go to university and get a job, if parents, as we used to say when we were little, parents say that, the bank in you see, my child is my bank, he's going to school, get a job and look after me. If the politicians keep on saying that, give us a chance and we will create a job for everybody else. No, we must change our attitude towards employment generation, and that the average person must really create avenues, either through someone setting up a job or giving startup. In other words, it's a whole mindset. And let me tell you, that requires a lot of effort and education, both at the school and informally. I myself, when my last born finished 2 degrees and was sitting at home for 6 months, and I asked him, Timothy, when are you going to look for a job? Then his answer, I am building my capacity. And I say, after looking after you at tech, there are things, you are sitting at home, it's now that you are going to build your capacity. he taught me a great lesson. After 6 months, he set up his own fair called Teen Thousand West. Has anyone heard it about it before here? The younger people. And within a few months, he was employing 10 people. And he claims, I can't verify because I don't have the expertise, that his firm is one of the 3 best photographic firms in the country. This, I had to change my attitude, even to accept that when you finish tech and GIMPA, the first thing you do is to set up your own business. It's a whole concept. Attitude matters. The second has to do with what we are here for, knowledge and skills. The way we educate people, and when they finish university, what they go and acquire to be able to take care of themselves and to employ others. My father-in-law, Paul, one of the big says, said something to me, which was, he says that when he graduated, even at those times, from Cambridge University, one of his professors says that, Willie, you have been given the tool to teach yourself. In other words, the degree of Cambridge University, even back then, was meant to help you to be able to teach yourself. I am going to be happy to see when people, when they finish tech and they finish GIMPA and JACCD University, they see themselves as a tool to teach themselves and then acquire the skills for enterprise. So it's quite important, and our education must have creativity, innovation, and entrepreneurship as its center, and something young people aspire to. The third, which the government has a great responsibility, is creating the atmosphere in which entrepreneurs, especially startups, can thrive. The governance situation is very important. When we have a system that is bedeviled with corruption and whom you know, it discourages young people. We must address the macroeconomic situation because the rate of interest, for example, is so important for someone to start up. Again, we must establish venture capital systems. That means willing to put a stake of money for people to start with the view that it will happen. Normally, about 3 or 4 startups fail, but those who start up and fail are those who start up again and succeed. And we need venture capital in terms of insurance against failure. And I can talk about policy issues. Like our land tenure system. We live in a country whereby even having a land to start up a business is so difficult. Then there must be specific business support programs whereby you take them to mentorship, training, holding their hands, linking them to a supply chain system, and the rest. I believe that if we do these things, not only will our young people look to starting up their businesses, and also even those employed, because interestingly, most of entrepreneurs are what we call niche entrepreneurs. They are employed, they see some niches, and they want to fill it, and they live and do so, will flourish in Ghana. I believe that anything that can be done to help our young people become self-employed or employing one another, which is someone starts up and must be done, because if we don't, creating an army of unemployment is mortgaging the future of the country. I thank you very much, and I hope all of us will enjoy these sessions.
Thank you so much, Chair. Professor Emeritus. I didn't know that it was really Professor Imre. Thank you so much for that great one there. I mean, for the youth here it is a daunting task for us. So just imagine myself, completed school, and of course with a lot of colleagues, and then because I'm on TV, we get a lot of DMs, everybody asking for something, you know. Charlie, push me for a year. Charlie, go fit tell this MP say I don't want job. All of these things. But then again, it is also because they've tried doing it on their own, and it's not working. Where the funding won't come from, and it's a very big thing that we need to talk about, and that is why we are here this morning to have this all-important event here. Thank you very much, Professor Emeritus Stephen Ade. Now, moving on, we're going to have some addresses from our partners here this morning, and we'll begin with the founder and president of JACCD Design Institute of Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Mrs. Joyce Abebio. Oh, let's do it for her, because this edifice is amazing. Really great one.
Your Excellency Alhaji Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, Vice President of Ghana, represented by Honorable Amapokuya Boateng, Deputy Minister for Communication and Digitization, honorable members present, dear students, staff, media, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you most cordially at the official launch of the Entrepreneurship Jobs for All project. It is such an auspicious day for all of us at JACCD Design Institute Africa and our partners, CD Ghana, Queen's University Canada, Lidogo Incorporated, Canada. The JACC Design Institute Africa has been at the forefront, nurturing and developing talent over the past 27 years. The Institute has made great strides in reshaping mindsets and creative education. The Institute, since its inception, has produced over 10,000 graduates who are working in different fields of the creative sector, contributing to the socio-economic development of the nation. It is remarkable to say that the recognition and prominence attached to fashion design in Ghana today is a testament of the depth of work we have done over the years. We started with changing mindsets, and it's gratifying to see across the streets of Accra and other regions of Ghana and in Africa today, fashion houses and designers who have penetrated into the international spheres. Mr. Chairman, the main reason for this state-of-the-art facility is to hammer on the need to place technical education at par with any other discipline, and also reinforce the vision of starting this trajectory to remind ourselves of the role creative education plays in a modern economy. Your Excellency, investment in skilled and creative education pays economic and social dividend. The youth are more than just a potential workforce and should not be perceived only in the context of their situation in the labor market. In 2017, the Institute established professional development centers in Accra and Kumasi. Our motivation was to help develop the talent at the grassroots level. These courses were industry-led, structured to support those who had little or no formal education, small and new business owners in the different segments of the creative sector, i.e. tailors, seamstresses, hairdressers, jewelry makers, textile producers, and graphic designers. The JACCD Design Institute Africa has repositioned itself to increase its dominance in the creative and development of talent across Africa. We are moving into other areas of creative education, animation and game development, film and television production, interior design, multimedia, and the fine arts. Our vision is to become the world-leading private institution and West Africa's first ever specialist in creative arts. With the current state-of-the-art facility, we are well positioned to deliver on this mandate. Ladies and gentlemen, today we launch the Entrepreneurship Job for All projects and the Design Innovation Center, where industry-led curriculum has been designed to provide young people with some of the tools necessary to take their idea to commercialization and capital investment. Entrepreneurship training is necessary, but an entrepreneurship training backed with skill training will provide the individual with a workable business. The E-Jobs for All project is intended, therefore, to strengthen capacity within the entrepreneurship ecosystem. The program will provide free entrepreneurship training and mentorship to thousands of the Ghanaian youth. As Queen's University is providing the industry-led curriculum, Lidogo is sandwiching with mentorship to provide holistic development. JACCD is privileged to partner with Queen's University Canada on this project. I entreat all present and others linking up with us virtually to take the advantage of the exciting opportunity this program offers. I would like to highly commend Queen's University Canada and the Community of Entrepreneurship Development Initiative, Lidogo Incorporated, for partnering with us in putting this innovation and entrepreneurship program together. As I end my speech, I would like to thank Honorable Amapukua Boateng, representing Mr. Vice President, as a special guest of honor, and all other invited guests on this occasion. We are very grateful for you taking time out of your workday to be here with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Joyce Abibio. Ladies and gentlemen, next up to give us an address is Professor Dr. Lawrence Lowell. He is the Executive Chair of CD Ghana. Let's appreciate him as he comes to give us an address. And very soon we'll be going to Canada to hear from our partners over there also.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Per the requirement, I would like to recognize two personalities. Chairman for this occasion, Professor Emeritus Stephen Adai, one of the renowned scholars. I appreciate you so much. In person, I have met him thrice. One at Gimpa, you may not recall. And then when we were about to have our first symposium at Gordon Tillip, I and Kingsley visited you at your place where you have established your school. And then today, we are here. Then Your Excellency, the Vice President of Ghana, represented by Honorable Ama Pama Boateng, the Deputy Minister of Communication and Digitalization. Observe all protocol present. Having the opportunity to address this gathering is a duty, being the chairman and executive director of CD Ghana. Being the leading partner in this project, Mr. Chairman, I'll plead your indulgence to use this opportunity to express my deepest gratitude to Queen's University, Lidogo Incorporated, and JACCD for joining hands with us to build the entrepreneurship mindset in the youth. Thus taking this initiative to address youth unemployment in the country which is a means of assisting in dealing with the eradication of poverty. It is fascinating to note that this project will bring hope to thousands of Ghanaian youth unemployed, and most importantly, the fresh graduates. Mr. Chairman, permit me to share a brief information about this JACCD Ghana project. As my colleague, Mr. Kingsley, recalled, the first phase was a symposium at Gordon Tillip, of which you happen to be the guest speaker of the program. During that, we passed a resolution to require the offices that 3 things need to change that we can hold the standards of Ghanaians. And one is entrepreneurship. The next one is modernization of agric, and then industrialization. When we talk of the industrialization, we got people who speak against that we've passed the era of industrialization. Therefore, we are in digitization. And I was wondering how we can go away with industry. Because everything an entrepreneur produces is to establish an industry. Current experts have tried to manufacture robots that are working in restaurants and others, and they are still working in an industry. So the idea of going away without industrialization to develop a country, to me, it seems to be a shadow dream. Notwithstanding that, JACCD Ghana, our aim is to help the individual to think positively by applying a duty of care principle that is accountable to yourself and to the community, of which whatever you do, you are responsible for that. You transform yourself, you build yourself, then you help the community. It is a serious issue in our system, the graduate unemployment, the major problem we are facing as a country. But the problem to me, I think, it also lies in our educational system, the way it's been structured. That a student is an empty barrel of which a lecturer is supposed to fill until it is brim. Not giving the room to innovate and create, but enforcing chew and pour philosophy. And if you mistakenly eliminate an iota from your question or the period you use to study, that 3-hour examination, you are nothing. Until we change this, we cannot go anywhere. Mr. Chairman, another issue is, to me, if this statement is true, that education is a key to national development. If this is a true reflection adage, then I would say our system of education in Ghana has contributed a lot to the lack of development in the system. Because those trained to be trained paved through the same system, and they pass that same knowledge to those they are training. So the leaders and stakeholders managing the affairs of the economy, if you are not endowed by God to change your mindset, it is difficult for you to do things different, because you were not given the room to use your mindset while you are training. The problem associated with unemployment in our country is overwhelming. The market cannot absorb because of the numerous graduates coming out every year. Per statistics, you have several records. And I don't want to go there, because many of you knew how things are in the system. But Mr. Chairman, the issue is this. It is not because there are not many jobs in the country. That one is true. But the graduates are not coming in with any new idea. If you want to challenge this, let's look at 10 years intervals. And you see the curricula of that old 10 years is still repeating itself in this current trend. So what are they bringing on board to transform the situation? Those already there were not able to expand for you to get many organizations. Therefore, recruiting those who will come and do what I am doing at my office, what is the need? Until we change this system, we can also go nowhere. In my simple research, I attested something about creativity. And as a researcher, you need to have a hypothesis. And from the Western world, this is what I found. Many of the established organizations are family-owned per their requirement. And for that matter, many of that family members find themselves in that organization, working to earn a living. When you attest that same hypothesis in Ghana, though research I can do differ, per where you are doing your research. But when you come to Ghana, in professionalism, you will find an occupational expert in the artisan industry, like carpentry, dressmaking, you just name a few, of which a parent or a guardian embark on to take care of the world from the primary, even up the university level. That none of the child will be encouraged to learn the parent trade. Those who embark on such trade, it means the parent don't have money to send them to school. And the reason being this, our system of education is still saying tradesmanship belongs to the less average student. And with this, if you are brilliant and get yourself in there, you'll be mockery. So until we change this structure again, we will go anywhere. Time won't permit me to emphasize on this issue. But I want to use this platform, since media is over here, to inform the opinion leaders that are managing our educational system. They should devise a means to restructure the system and push the brilliant and intelligence to that area and give few slots to very few people to embark on the social science courses, because it has destroyed us. You learn to be eloquent in delivering, speaking fluent English without putting food on your table. Mr. Chairman, as time won't permit me, in conclusion, I want to assure you that JACCD Ghana boasts of result-oriented, able team of professors, influential industrial experts, and change makers, which include Professor Mohamed Abu, a former senior economic advisor to the United Nations, Professor Bernard Fodjo, the undergraduate director for Northern University in the United States of America, JACCD Ghana Executive Director, Professor Lowell, who is moment speaking, and International Program Director for West Africa Consortium of 3 universities, and many others. But before I end, I want those who expect the students who think they cannot do anything for themselves with a brief history of Lowell. All my secondary education is 1 term minus 2 weeks. When I got that admission, I couldn't pursue that same year. So I have to cultivate, confirm with my mother, a single parent. And the outcome was 17 cedis then. The woman who came to buy my corn bought it on credit. So when school reopens, the money is not in my hand. So I need to spend one term holiday at home. And I got the money and entered secondary school. A week to vacate, we had a general examination, and Form 1 student was among the best 4. But I don't have any money to stay on campus for the next week. So I have to leave campus to Takwa Kontanse to be a Galamsey worker. Along the process, I decided to attest GCO level. That time, we were the first batch of Orange JHS. There wasn't of deck. So I studied home and read the GCO level and got on my side. I got a 1 pass and all credits with that term experience. And that is the beginning of my knowledge acquisition. So you can do something for yourself. When I got a chance to work at the university, after my first MBA as a service personnel, looking at the environment, I decided not to work for anybody. So when I got my first PhD in 2012, I established my own consulting firm, Lowell Professional Services. Because looking the way I impact, using 8 hours for somebody to give me something small that cannot take care of me to help others, I have to advise myself. And I did that. One day I was at home, and a certain guy came to me called Kingsley. They said, I have heard of you. I want us to do something to help Ghanaian youth. And that was the beginning of CD Ghana. And now we are here to launch a program that will help many of the Ghanaians to do something for themselves and the community. I thank you all present to be here to launch this profitable program. God bless you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause. Thank you so much, Prof. Those of us who attended the best senior high school in Ghana and the best university in Ghana, ladies and gentlemen, if you went to Temasco, let me see your hand. Why are you laughing? Yeah. I went to the best senior high school in Ghana, Temasco Secondary School. That's, yeah, I see my people there. Anchorite, and then the best university in Ghana, University of Cape Coast. Okay. But you know, all of these, the most important thing is that you come out and you're able to help society. Who felt the bits about the children poor? Yeah. When you learn so much, you miss a few words, and you are marked down. And you think that is the end. But obviously, that's not the end. Lately, there's a trend. I don't know, maybe our chairman would help me understand that. Should we as youth choose the kind of work that we deem fit for ourselves? Like, for example, you order a boat, and the driver who comes to pick you up is, a university graduate, sometimes even master's, graduate, and, you're having a conversation. Is it that boat drivers shouldn't be, master's students, or, it doesn't befit? It doesn't make sense? Who should be the boat driver? Anyway, so if you just joined us, you're still here for this amazing event. And if you see this on your seat, this is the brochure of JACCD. You can find everything on there. You can just scan it and you get all the details on there of the university, of JACCD actually. And also, let me just quickly acknowledge some of our guests who have joined us. Mrs. Janet Edna Nyame, the Executive Director of the National Commission for Culture and the Vice President, World Federation of the United Nations. Please, let's appreciate her. Thank you so much for coming, ma'am. And also Mrs. Gloria Noy Botelli, Director, Policy Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation Ministry, representing the Employment Minister. Let's see, ma'am. Thank you so much for coming. And also, Madam Caroline Odonko, Participant Affairs Managers at Yali. Thank you so much for your presence. Now from Ghana, we're moving to Canada. It's still early hours in that particular country. And to give us an address is Professor Greg Bavington, the Executive Director of Queen's University's GDQIC in Canada. Hello, Prof. Are you there? Do we have Prof on? Okay, as we are working on that, let me remind you that we also have on Facebook at JACCD Design Institute Africa. You can get on there, share, and let. I see some comments coming through there. I'll be reading them later as the program goes on. Please, can you let me know if we have Professor Greg Bavington on, or also Mr. Matt Hawksley, who is the Chief Executive Officer of Lidogo Incorporated in Canada. We have Prof on. Okay, Prof, good morning. Hello, Prof. Professor Bavington. Know what the problem is? Prof, okay. Because he's speaking, we need to hear him. Prof, if you can unmute so that we can hear you clearly. Okay. I nearly said something that, technology and some of our senior men and women sometimes. Okay, I guess we'll work on that and have Professor Greg Bavington on to give us his address. And later on, we'll be having a keynote address from our guest representing the Vice President here. And later we'll do the launch of the Innovation Center. And later, of course, when we come to meetings like the most important thing is to network, for us to get to know ourselves, and that is what is important. So please get to talk to someone, not down where we are done, so that you get to know them. You never know what could happen with this. Please, do we go on with Prof?
Good morning, I'm speaking. Can you hear me?
Great. We can hear you now, Prof. So you can give us your address now.
Great, thank you very much. Good morning, everybody, and greetings from Canada. I'm unfortunately not on the beautiful campus of Queen's University right now. I'm in my basement in Toronto, Canada, where it's very early in the morning, but I send my greetings to my valued partners in this project, to all of the distinguished guests, to everybody else on the call and who's visited the event this morning. And I send my particular greetings to the young aspiring entrepreneurs on the call and in the room who have heard from so many distinguished people so far who've put a lot of pressure on your shoulders. And that's what I want to talk about a little bit. The more my career has given me this great blessing of being able to conduct business all around the world, and including today in Ghana. And one thing that's always struck me is while our differences between countries are interesting and important, we're mostly the same. And we mostly struggle with the same things. We have the same challenges and the same opportunities. And I was reminded of that listening to your distinguished professors and directors speak to you this morning. The Right Honorable Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister of Canada, visited our Entrepreneurship Center at Queen's University very recently, and he spoke to our students who are studying the same curriculum that you'll be studying, that we've prepared at Queen's University for our aspiring entrepreneurs. And he put exactly the same pressure on their shoulders. Canada, like everywhere else, is going to have to rely on its young leaders to lead it through a transforming economy. And it's entrepreneurs who, by and large, lead everybody else in those efforts. So I encourage you to reflect on the challenge and to accept on the challenge And I encourage you to embrace the supports and opportunities that you're being offered through our partners and through Queen's University, and in particular the curriculum that you're being provided. I started building this curriculum when I started tapering off my entrepreneurial career about 10 years ago. Well before that, in the 1990s, another young, aspiring African entrepreneur arrived at Queen's University to begin his undergraduate degree from the Republic of South Africa, and his name is Elon Musk. You may have heard of him. He was first 2 years at the University of Queens. As we set out to put this curriculum together, myself and the then principal of Queen's University visited Mr. Musk at SpaceX in Los Angeles, and we sought his advice on what a properly put together and delivered program for entrepreneurs might look like. We'd done a fair bit of work already, but he definitely gave us some valuable suggestions, which we of course incorporated. And he said to me as I was leaving his office, you know, what you're doing is very important for young entrepreneurs. My entrepreneurial career has been a struggle, but a success. This is Elon Musk speaking. He said, if I had the guidance and the support and the curriculum that you're trying to deliver at Queen's, it would have been a lot easier, and success would have come a lot sooner. So there you have it. You have distinguished guests here putting pressure on your shoulders, and Elon Musk taking it off of your shoulders by assuring you that you're going to get some valuable curriculum and guidance to help you. I'd also like to point out a few things that I learned in the 10 years that we've been training entrepreneurs at Queen's, and more recently, the last 2 years, training entrepreneurs throughout Africa. And I particularly like to dispel a few myths. A lot of people come into our programs thinking that entrepreneurship is an endeavor for individualists, for lone wolves, for people who prefer to operate in isolation. I can assure you that entrepreneurship is a team sport. So while it can feel lonely at times, don't ever be alone. Seek the guidance of your mentors, seek the guidance of the distinguished faculty in the room with you now, and with your fellow entrepreneurs. One of the most powerful things you'll be able to do is to build a community around the curriculum that you've been provided and to give each other mutual support. It's not a solo endeavor, it's a team endeavor. The other myth that a lot of people carry about entrepreneurship is that it's very self-serving and that entrepreneurs are driven by enriching themselves. Those entrepreneurs tend to fail. The most successful entrepreneurs are driven by trying to solve the problems around them. And in so doing, they provide opportunities not only for themselves, but for the people whose problems they're solving, and for the people who join their great companies and find valuable employment in them. So try to set your mind aside of your struggles today, of your problems, of your own aspirations, and open your eyes to the problems of the people around you. That's where you'll find your inspiration to be a great entrepreneur. The last myth I'd like to set aside, I don't think I have much talking to do to convince everyone in this room, is that entrepreneurship is largely for business people and for technical people, engineers. I think if I asked you all to list the top 5 or 6 most famous entrepreneurs that you've heard of around the world, likely Mr. Musk would make it on your list. But I'm going to bet you all that of the 5 or 6 that you would name, none of them have either an engineering degree or a business degree. Engineers and business people have extraordinarily important roles in entrepreneurship, but the driving force in entrepreneurship is creative endeavor and a desire to solve society's biggest problems. So empathize with business people, empathize with technical people, invite them into your world, invite them onto your team, go forward with them. But never forget that entrepreneurship is for everybody, and it's particularly for creative people. I'd like to thank my partners at this point for the opportunity to do this work in service of the aspiring young entrepreneurs of Ghana. I wish you all the very best. You have my support and the support of my institution, Queen's University. And I'm sure you'll go forward and make a tremendous positive impact on society. And I look forward to seeing you in person at some point in the near future. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Professor Greg Pavington. He's the Executive Director of Queen's University's GDQIC Canada. Next up, we'll be hearing from Mr. Matt Hawksley, the Chief Executive Officer of Lidogo Incorporated. Sir, if you are there, you can go ahead and share with us your address. Hello, Mr. Hawksley. I'm just taking my time so I don't say Mr. Hawksley. So Hawksley. Hello, Mr. Hawksley.
Can you hear me, Chair?
Yes, we can hear you now. Please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you so much. And I want to thank everybody again as well for being here, all the dignitaries, the distinguished members, and the guests and my fellow partners, JACCD, CDI Ghana, and of course, Queen's University. I'm also the CEO and founder of Lidogo, and I guess what we fit in is really something special, that mentorship component, and kind of to what Reverend and others have spoken about today. One of the key parts is really this middle area. In academic world, there's a lot of theory and then application. These two things are crucial to bringing any specific movement or initiative forward. But there's something in the middle. We have an education piece, an action, but what we really in the middle is connection. And that's kind of something that I'm going to speak to you all about today, and how amazingly powerful that connection is, and how the mentorship, our relationships, and the support mechanism is one of the most crucial pieces in your entrepreneurship journey. And that's been certainly the case for me. I have been in the supply chain and logistics for 20 plus years, working up a corporate ladder, having some success, but realized in my life though that there was something missing. I had always wanted to start a business. I wanted to drive change and be more active. And I looked at my life and I saw here were my values, and then here was actually how I was spending my time. So I made a deliberate choice to actually leave the company that I'd known for 20 years, a career that I felt was pretty safe, and go on a journey. I left for 40 days. I traveled around Canada, US. I met with a lot of different coaches and entrepreneurs, worked with executive directors and nonprofits to truly understand what the powers we were facing today, and also to learn more about myself and what I wanted to be and how I can add value to society. And that journey of what I was doing was what I call the art of learning in the open, connecting with a lot of different people, learning from each other, gaining new perspectives to help me not only shape my future, but to then play a role in the future of many different people as well. And that whole journey really led me to building Lidogo, which is a social learning network and a community of people that are driving personal growth and development, helping each other grow, as well as then helping to lead change in society. Creating a platform that we're enabling many different community members to come together in many different functions, and that's where we can play a role here in this specific partnership and agreement. Too often, in situations of unemployment or poverty or different things, networks, specific relationships are not available to many of these different people to help them to grow, to build, to learn, to change. But now, in the advent of the technology that we're having today, we can be connected to each other more and more. LinkedIn, other things that exist, we're able to really get in touch with people. We want to bring it even closer. We want that group of people that are really focused on helping one another, that are focused on social impact, that want to actually build a better tomorrow. So as we continue to work and build, we'll have three different specific functions as far as how we can play a role to help you to grow, to bring that application part into play, your creativity, your ideas harnessed, to get that support, that network, that community to then help you along. We'll be able to help in the coaching aspect, where each person will be able to then have someone supportive, work with them to harness and shape and build that idea that they're ready to bring to the table. We also have something what we call virtual hitchhiking. And you know what hitchhiking is, essentially you're kind of standing on the road and you're putting your thumb up looking for a ride to get to a specific destination. You might be not looking to get to Kumasi. And you take a series of rides on a car to get to a specific destination. You don't always know exactly who's going to pick you up or where it leads, but it's always closer to that final goal or destination. When it comes to learning and to growth, it is that same model, where you would then set your goals as far as how to scale your business or build or do different things, and then connect with a community member, one person at a time, to learn and then apply specific knowledge that you've gained. Also, what we would like to do is give everyone an opportunity to build their own advisory pod, a brain trust, a small board of directors that you'll have to help shape and build your potential businesses. As Greg had mentioned just a minute before, it's really important to empathize and to understand things from many different perspectives and angles, looking at it from the financial side, an engineering side, product side, possibly human resources, technology. Being able to then bring in the right key members into a small group to gain insights and gain feedback is crucial to helping to build something, anything. And we're hoping to bring all of that to the table for all of the different students at JACCD to then move their businesses forward, to create jobs, generate revenue, but also to find fulfillment, to find purpose, to achieve the goals that you're setting out, these bold and daring dreams. We're so glad to be a part of this specific project, and as I talk about connection, even me being a part of this is relative to that. I came to Queens. I also have a master's from the Innovation and Entrepreneurship program here, and I was connected through a colleague of mine, Mr. Kingsley Barber. If I had not had that connection, if I was not engaged and really open about what was going on, I would not have been able to make the connection and then build a relationship with Mr. Kingsley that has helped lead to this amazing project and initiative. If we were able to collaborate and then connect, and then also bring in the different parties that are here and partners, this might not have been able to happen. The power of connection is what can truly move things forward. It's the perfect blend then of the education component which you'll see from Queens, the connection component, where the Dogo can play a part, and then the action part, where JACCD, CDI can really help us bring things forward. I'm very excited, as you may be able to tell, that we're going to be doing amazing things, and I believe that the Entrepreneurship Jobs for All program can be a true harbinger for change and impact as we move together forward to build a better tomorrow for Ghana and beyond. I want to thank you very much for your time today. I look forward to working with you all. I'm available to help in any way I possibly can. Look forward to seeing you all soon in person as well.
Thank you so
Have a
much.
great day, and thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you very much, Matt Hoskley. Need to take my time. Matt Hoskley, Chief Executive Officer of Lidogo Incorporated Canada. Now, those are addresses from our partners. Now to our guest of honors here, a number of them, and also on Zoom, so we'll get to them also. And with that, we begin with Her Excellency Adiola Pasholari, the Secretary General of the World Assembly of Youth. Hello, Her Excellency Pasholari. Do we have her on? Okay, as we get ready, let me acknowledge some personalities here. Ladies and gentlemen, also joining us this morning is Mr. Emmanuel Beju, Senior Manager Sustainability at Anglo Gold Ashanti, Ghana. Let's appreciate him. Thank you very much, sir, for your presence. Also, Mr. Daniel Arthur Bintum, Economic Development Superintendent, Anglo Gold Ashanti. Let's appreciate him, ladies and gentlemen. Also in our message, Mr. Baram Gani, founder, Maison Furniture and Interior Design Division. Let's see you. So, okay. Okay, thank you. And Professor Nathaniel Bosodin, KNUST School of Business, and he's also joined via Zoom. Thank you so much, Professor, for joining us. And also Apostle Dr. Lawyer Abraham Ofori, former General Secretary, the Apostolic Church Ghana. Thank you very much, sir, for your presence this morning. And as I mentioned later, we would launch the Innovation Center as we wrap up things here. Do we have it on? See on. Okay. Okay, so let's move on and see if we could have the address of Dr. Roland Roberts, Advisor to National Government USA and the founder of Transform Africa. Dr. Roberts, can you hear us? Oh, sorry, that's very important. I beg your pardon. His Excellency, Dr. Roland Roberts, Advisor to National Government USA and founder of Transform Africa. We're here to hear from him. Okay.
Yes, thank you.
Great.
Greetings, Honorable Chairman.
Oh, you can go on, sir.
Greetings, Honorable Chairman, Your Excellency, Mr. Vice President, distinguished ministers and guests. Entrepreneurship is the single greatest economic engine on earth today. It has set individuals free. It has set nations free. It is the great equalizing force in the world today. Someone with simply a cell phone and internet access can create products and services that revolutionize how we live our daily lives. Instead of begging employers for a job, people can employ themselves. They can pick themselves and provide products and services that are valued in the marketplace. Entrepreneurship levels the playing field despite your education level, your social standing, your gender, your religion, your race, and everything that divides people in the world today. We have experienced this firsthand. When I started Roland College School of Business and Entrepreneurship, we graduated 2,451 entrepreneurship students on the African continent alone just a few weeks ago. But as working with the Office of the President in Ghana on entrepreneurship initiatives, what we have discovered is that many Ghanaians have been engaged in what they considered entrepreneurship from youth, maybe 2 years old, 3-year-old boy child, girl child. But in fact, what they have been referring to as entrepreneurship is not what the rest of the world might consider entrepreneurship. And that is why Ghana has not realized the economic effects of what they thought they were practicing with entrepreneurship. The E-Jobs for All initiative will be a great help to the nation of Ghana and to its citizenry. The partners in how the SETI and others, JACCD, have put together the ecosystem will be a great support for many, many people and provide a great value and service. But there's a big difference between the entrepreneur and the business owner. There's a big difference both for the entrepreneur and there's a big difference for the nation's economy. Why do 70% of African businesses fail in the first 5 years? It's an interesting question, especially considering why, according to the SBA, the Small Business Administration in the United States, we have 90% of American startups fail in the first year. So if you have 70% failing in the first 5 years, we have 90% failing in the first year. And then 90% of the 10% that survive fail within 5 years. The lesson here is to not fear the failure. The business failing, that's how everybody else defines it when us as entrepreneurs fail. We don't define it that way. The reason America is a much stronger economy than the Ghanaian economy, and we're a world economic superpower, and Ghana is on its path there, is because we don't view failure as failure. We're fine with letting 90% of our businesses fail in the first year because it clears the way for the best ideas, the best execution, the best teams to survive and thrive. And that is what creates success, entrepreneurial success. When I created and led the hoverboard company, the single hottest global consumer product in the entire world in 2015, I can tell you it's not because we started in an incubator. We did not have an accelerator. We had failed and failed and failed and failed, and that's what made us succeed. Because we learned from the failures. We learned from what did not work, just as Thomas Edison and every other successful entrepreneur has done. If 9 out of 10 businesses fail, young people, then you need to start 10 businesses. Not at the same time, but you need to start and grow and learn and sell or close and move to the next one because your ideas will get better. Your execution will get better. Your business model will become more in alignment with the pricing and products in the market, in your target markets and so forth. You will learn. The other thing that Ghana is moving towards is there's a difference between innovation and invention. And the problem with a lot of entrepreneurial education is it's taught by people who have not been entrepreneurs. They don't know the pain of entrepreneurship, where you have to be a legal expert, the accounting expert, the operations expert, the leadership expert. You have to be great at foreign exchange and currency exchange, and at manufacturing, and at product sourcing, and at communication, and at the hiring and firing and regulations. You have to be competent in many, many areas depending on how you go. You may be in the service sector, which is a cash-rich, perhaps even the informal sector, or you may start an established business. You have to start where you are with what you have. The greatest brands in the world today did not start with seed capital and funding and everything else. They started with grit, they started with vision, and they just went forward. And it was their idea and their execution in motion that started to attract the other resources that are necessary. You do not lack money. That is not the problem with your business not going. We require all of our students to start or grow in their existing business. Your grade is based, and your graduation is based on actually having a business because we're not interested in theory. I'm interested in improving the lives of people, the lives of Ghanaians, and in the nation's GDP. To see Ghana in the top 20, G20, and the top world economic powers that be. There are three different types of innovation. Most people and countries focus and encourage the wrong types of innovation that do not affect the national GDP. Only one of the three types of innovation affects a national economy. The other two simply improve the life of the entrepreneur and or the employees, which is wonderful, but it's always ideal whenever you can do all. So the point of entrepreneurship is that you're focused on innovation and you're serving the needs of the marketplace. And the other will improve the lives of those in your ecosystem. Therefore, governments need to educate and promote the specific type of innovation that moves the economic wheel. We do not need just more entrepreneurship education. We need more of the right entrepreneurship education. And I would need, you don't want entrepreneurship education. It's not business. You want to be engaged in moving forward as you are learning information that will grow and support your current business and projects. I'm grateful for the eJobs for All project that will support entrepreneurship among women and youth to address the poverty and youth unemployment in Ghana, to take the creative minds that often are put to ill purposes or to increase crime, and to direct those. A lot of the greatest crimes, and especially e-commerce and so forth, are perpetrated by youth that are brilliant, but they're misguided. And entrepreneurship takes those same creative skills and applies them and points them in a productive and profitable direction, both for society, communities, and even themselves. And so I commend the partners, the distinguished guests, dignitaries, and obviously my colleagues in the government for supporting this initiative. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no excuse for you. There may be a lack of desire, you may have a lack of ambition, you may have a lack of money, but lack of knowledge is now a choice that you have given the eJobs for All project. And so you have no excuse And I pray that you will take initiative to grow yourself, to enlarge your territory, your mentality, and in that way your family and your nation, your communities will be blessed. I extend my deepest admiration to all parties involved in the success of this respectable initiative. May it bring great prosperity to Ghanaians and cause the nation itself to abound and flourish on its journey to becoming a world economic superpower. May God bless each one of you. May God bless Ghana. And may God bless the great continent of Africa. Thank you.
Gentlemen, let's appreciate him. That was His Excellency Dr. Roland Roberts, advisor to National Government USA and the founder of Transform Africa. Really, really profound statements there. The one that he said that called me, we have no excuse. You don't have money, that's fine. But the bits that you do not have an excuse for is knowledge. Very, very important knowledge. You know, on Twitter, a lot of youth on there, I hope most of us on Twitter, because if you're not on there, I mean, I'll just go through that. So on Twitter, a lot of banter conversations about all of these things happen there. And we have some of the people who have done it. But the problem is to show us the way. Show us the way. What exactly, how did you do it? But, you know, the youth mostly I'm happy with, oh, I started with 1 ticket in my, I started with Gary 50 pesos. I started with, something like that. For myself and the youth, we think that, give us something more concrete. Not, I started with, one shoelace, and then I opened a shop and I started doing all of these things. So very, very important that those who are there also will show us exactly how it is done so we can follow suit. So now let's come back to Ghana. And this is we're going to hear an address from a representative of the Minister of Labor, Employment and Labor Relations. And let me just, okay. So ladies and gentlemen, to address us next is Mrs. Gloria Moi Botele, Director, Policy, Planning, Monitoring and Evaluation, representing the Employment Minister, as we hear from her. Let's appreciate her, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning, everyone. So I represent my minister, Honorable Ignatius Bafo, MP for Sudanese West. So I read the statement. Mr. Chairman, Professor Emeritus Stephen Ade, former Rector Gempa, Your Excellency Vice President of Ghana, Dr. Alhaji Bawumia, being represented by Honorable Amma Pokwa Boatin. Your Excellency Dr. Roland Roberts, Advisor to National Government, partners from Canada and Ghana, CEOs and business leaders present, distinguished guests, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great pleasure and honor to be in your company today on the launch of the E-Jobs for All by the Community and Entrepreneurial Development Initiative, CD Ghana, the Queen's University, the Logo Incorporated, JACCD Design Institute Africa, and other partner universities. This initiative could not have come at a better time, considering the rapid changes taking place in the world of work and the global economy. As partners, we are duty-bound to connect the youth with various employment opportunities that exist, not only in Ghana, but also abroad. As a sector, it is our mandate to explore and implement strategies that will ensure full productive employment and decent work for all. Mr. Chair, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, you would agree with me that youth employment and entrepreneurship has been a priority for governments over the past few years, and evidence to this effect in recent time is not readily far-fetched. Without doubt, the agency to improve on existing youth employment interventions, such as the Employment Program, Nation Builders Corps, National Entrepreneurship and Innovative Programs, etc., to create more decent jobs for the teeming youth has become paramount, considering the fact that only a small percentage of the youth find decent jobs after their education or training. It is in this vein that I commend CD Ghana, the Queen's University, Logo Incorporated, JACCD Design Institute Africa, and all other stakeholders for their hard work, dedication, and diverse contributions in the design of the E-Jobs for All projects. It may also interest you to know that the Ministry of Employment and Labor Relations has enjoyed a long-standing relationship with CD Ghana to help address youth unemployment. As a ministry that exists to coordinate and promote employment opportunities, decent jobs, and harmonious labor relations in all sectors of the national economy, this launching falls directly in line with our core mandate. The CD Ghana initiative adds to the many interventions of government to equip young people with working skills and resources to enable them to start up their own businesses. The implementation of this project will equip the youth with the requisite technical and entrepreneurial skills to complement the government's job creation efforts. The benefits, experiences, and lessons to be derived from the implementation of the project will play a very pivotal role in enhancing the employability of the youth towards the realization of the government's medium-term national employment agenda. Mr. Chairman, the importance of the project cannot be overemphasized. This is because the Ghana Statistical Service, per its 7th round of the Ghana Living Standards Survey GLSS7 estimates that the formal sector will not be able to generate jobs and the required numbers to absorb the growing labor force. This means that a large proportion of the population would have to be guided into the informal sector, which already employs about 85% of the labor force. Thus, beneficiaries of the e-jobs for all project would have to be supported to create more employment opportunities to absorb the growing labor force, both in the formal and informal sectors of the economy. It is important to note that informality itself is not bad, but the decent work deficit that characterizes the sector, which is what should be reduced, if not eliminated completely. I therefore entreat prospective beneficiaries of the project to take advantage of the numerous opportunities the project has in store for them. My ministry, with great interest in supporting business growth towards employment creation, will deepen partnership with CD Ghana, partners in the public sector to ensure decent work for all. Mr. Chair, as I bring my message to a close, let me reiterate the importance of upscaling and mainstreaming the lessons to be learned from this project. Sustainability of projects after completion has not been encouraging, a situation we should not condone going forward. Research and evidence suggest that individuals abandon brilliant and innovative ideas, policies, projects, and plans as a result of one setback or the other. Sustaining these ideas is very vital for growth and development. To the leadership of CEDA Ghana, the Queen's University, Edogo Incorporated, and JACCD Design Institute Africa, I once again express my deepest appreciation to you for this laudable initiative. It is my humble appeal that this project will be extended to other beneficiaries who benefit from the e-jobs for all. This is a legacy we can bequeath to the youth and beyond. Let's continue to engage, collaborate, and share experiences towards the common goal of ensuring that we enhance the technological skills and ability of youth towards inclusive growth and improved employment outcomes. I thank you for your attention, and thank you for having me.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's appreciate her once again, Madam Botele, speaking to us on behalf of the Employment and Labor Relations Minister, Ignatius Bafo Ewa. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, we call on a rep, someone who is standing in for His Excellency, the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and let's welcome Honorable Amabuka Watson, the Deputy Minister of Communications and Digitalization, and the MP for Asante Juabe. Let's appreciate her.
Thank you, Desmond. Mr. Chairman, Auntie Joyce, it's a great pleasure to hear. Before I read the Vice's speech, I would like to say that it's such an honor to see the work that you do. And for Prof, I've listened to you over the years, and you are still relevant. And we are very, very grateful. These days, I'm not a youth anymore, but I think you are still really relevant, and the whole nation is proud of you. Being here, so I also took notes. Listening to all the speakers, it gives me the confidence that so many people are doing so many things, so many good things to empower the youth, be it being an innovator or an entrepreneur or being a politician or whatever. I mean, it's worth it. I've also taken note of the fact that being a business owner doesn't mean you're an entrepreneur. So that's also good to know. But from the Ministry of Communications and Digitalization, we are equally supporting the youth through our innovation centers. We have Accra Digital Center, and we are keenly getting ready to go to the regions to have these innovation centers to support the youth. Mostly what we do is, because we are the digitalization ministry, most of the things or business ideas that we get interested in are those who are using technologies for their businesses. And it's great to know that this center also has an innovation center for the creative arts, and I think our ministry would want to pay attention to this as well. So I'll go to the speech. I'd like to stand on all protocols because I think we are about an hour late, and that'll take some time. So distinguished guests, it's a pleasure to be here this afternoon to launch the Entrepreneurship Jobs for All, the e-Jobs for All project on behalf of the Vice President, His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. This project will contribute to efforts aimed at addressing poverty, promote creativity, and youth unemployment in Ghana by providing this free entrepreneurship training and mentorship to thousands of Ghanaian youth to develop and launch their businesses. This would also assist in the development of the nation's technical skills, encourage their participation in using technologies, all towards the country's development. This initiative from Community and Entrepreneurial Development Initiative, City Ghana, the Queen's College, University Canada, and Lido Incorporated Canada, and partnered by JACCD Design Institute Africa, Ghana, and other local universities could not have come at a better time, considering the negative impact of COVID and all the other issues that's going on in the world now. With a slowdown in economic activities and the near collapse of many small and medium enterprises, I must say it will be extremely difficult for anyone to downplay the importance of this project. e-Job for All will provide free online entrepreneurship training from the Queen's University Innovation Center, advisory services from Canadian business experts in the Lido Incorporated Network, and an in-person training at JACCD Design Institute Africa and partner universities. Please, I would like to just add that if the Ghanaian companies are willing, they should be part of this. Otherwise, so for us to have the local content, because maybe sometimes our experiences might not be the Canadian experiences, but it would be good to have the mentorship from our local business people as well. This project will also roll out a virtual mentorship platform to connect the Ghanaian youth to mentors, and an app to serve as entrepreneurship learning tool and connect the youth to mentorship and funding opportunities. Mr. Chairman, I'm glad the partners are using digitization and entrepreneurship to help address poverty and youth unemployment, something that government has been making strides in over the years. The government's interest in digitalization stems from the fact that the fourth industrial revolution is a digital revolution, which is indispensable in the economic transformation of a developing economy. I remember one of the speakers had mentioned industrialization and digitalization, and I believe both will give us jobs, so we are all interested in both. These digital innovations that government has initiated has been easing access to government services and impacting government revenue. Among some of the technological milestones include a digital address system, which will help you as an entrepreneur, the Ghana card, which will also help you in your business, the mobile money interoperability, the Ghana, it's true. I mean, if you're an entrepreneur, you go into e-commerce, and knowing the digital addresses of people and who you're dealing with would really help a lot. So register your SIM and be free. So today, with the Ghana card has been able to increase the proportion of Ghanaians with tax identification numbers, and this is where government is really interested in. Once you're an entrepreneur and you create your businesses, you have to pay the taxes. And once we have your Ghana card, or we know who you are, GRA will know how to get to you. So yes, that's how government makes money, right? Otherwise, we keep worrying. So we want you to be entrepreneurs, and we want government to also make some revenue. Thank you. So, Mr. Chairman, the Ghana Pay has also made Ghana the first country in the world to have a bank-wide mobile money wallet, which has usually been the preserve of the telcos to issue mobile money wallet. We've also done things in the health sector, and recently we have launched the Ghana Electronic Pharmacy Platform, the e-pharmacy, which is the first national-scale e-pharmacy platform in Africa. This is a digital convergence of licensed pharmacies across the country, which will enable Ghanaians to have access to prescribed medicine and buy by making an order with a mobile phone through e-pharmacy app, website, or short code, and have the medicine delivered to a requested location. The GPS business system helps in this. I saw you have one of your programs is in animation, and that's another great area for us to create jobs. So finally, Mr. Chairman, Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, those who would participate in the e-skills project would gain valuable skills and experiences, grow revenue, create jobs at a higher rate than the national average. As we strive to develop this country with digitization, this e-jobs for all will help create thousands of jobs and develop the SME sector of the economy. I will therefore advise the SMEs, aspiring entrepreneurs, students, unemployed, and fresh graduates to embrace this opportunity to create and develop jobs for themselves. To the leadership of Community and Entrepreneurial Development Initiative, CD Ghana, the Queen's University, the Dogo Incorporated, and JACCD Design Institute Africa, I once again express my deepest appreciation to you for this laudable initiative. This is a legacy we can bequeath to the youth of Ghana and beyond. I therefore declare eJob for All duly launched and JACCD Innovation Center open. May God bless our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Honorable. Really grateful for your presence. And at this point, you know how important your Ghana card is. Yes. So anytime I'm walking around, you know, now we're talking E, so I have my e-Ghana card. It's always on my phone because you never know when it will be needed. And please go register yourself. It's very, very important. Anyways, she mentioned that the Innovation Center is duly launched. Yes, this is what she said, but we'll actually go down there after the closing remarks have been made by the chair. So we actually do the actual launch. But just before that, I just want to go off script a little bit and just hear from, I know we heard from leaders, people who've been in there before, but how about the youth here? I just want two people to share with me, you know, or share with us some of their thoughts about the unemployment situation in the country. Maybe they started something, some difficulties that they encountered quickly in a minute. Who wants to share with us? Okay, there's a gentleman here. I need a lady. Ladies. Okay, you can go ahead.
Very well. My name is Lord, and I'm a branding consultant. So basically, I finished university some years ago, and when I finished university, I had that mentality, as Professor said, that basically you can't bank your hopes on the government to give you jobs, and you have to develop your skills. I was just having a friend, chat with my friend, and it's like many people do have the skills, but sometimes they fail to, cultivate other skills that might help them to be good at what they want to do. So for instance, if you're talking about the creative industry, you get it. So someone is seamstress, someone is maybe into carpentry and all, that's the skill you have. But you can't just stay where you are and dream or think that people will get to reach you. I learned personal branding for myself after I finished school, and I can say it's one skill that has really helped me. I have hard skills, but my personal branding skill that I learned also has given me that opportunity to reach out to people and then offer the value I have. You get it? I don't believe that graduates do not have value. I believe that for each and every graduate that comes out of the university, even if you are not a graduate, whether you're in the informal sector, whichever skill you do have, there is something that you do have that can be of value to someone. But the most important thing is identifying the people that can, benefit from the value you have and developing the skills needed to reach out to them and then also offer your value. So, times might be hard in Ghana, but if you know how to sell yourself, I believe that you can be able to.
Thank you very much, Lord. So now the seamstress, there's some fashion designer, please. Yeah. So, any lady to share with us? Okay, let him start. I'm sure we'll get someone.
Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Ibrahim. I'm with Ghana Tech Lab, and it's an innovation space to train young people in data science, mobile app development, AI, and other interesting areas. And my experience with respect to unemployment is, when I was done with UDS in 2012, it was really hard for me, and I just had to jump onto learning tech skills. At that time, network engineering was a hot kick, and I jumped into network engineering, mastered the science and art behind it, and in 2015, I had the chance to travel to Dubai to expand the skills. And when I came back to Ghana, I started my own startup, and currently I'm with Ghana Tech Lab, and all I do is share my skill with the young people, and I'm happy because most of these people complete university, even with computer science degree, but they can't, most of them cannot develop an app. And, but with Ghana Tech Lab, 6 months of training, most of these young people have built tech startups, and we have a community of mentors who was to push them, move beyond. So I'm calling all young people over here. Ghana Tech Lab is located at Accra Digital Center, and the training is free.
I got that. Thank you very much, Ibrahim. So, since I'm not getting any lady, let me just share with you a very close, this will be the final one, a very close friend of mine. She studied Become in UCC, it's one of the top programs in UCC, and she did her internships and all of those things, service at the bank. But after a year or two, she was home. Now she calls herself the Become Jollof Seller. Because she got the idea that I can be in the bank, so what, I can cook. So she started the jollof, and guess what? She has 5 joints in Accra now. 5 joints, and that is what everybody has been saying, that it may be difficult, but if you can just push a little bit, you never know when your breakthrough will come in. So let's all encourage ourselves. I'm very sure I'll be starting my friend. Don't worry. Yeah. Oh, the lady finally. Okay, just in a minute. Please let her speak. You can give this to her.
I'm Chris Apari, and I'm sorry, Madam Dress, but I have a confession to make.
Hey.
Because of my skin, last semester I was using a skincare brand, so because of financial constraints, I had to stop using the brand, and my face especially got bad. So earlier this year, I was trying to what can I do? Instead of promoting someone else's business, I should start doing it. I should learn how to do it. But I lacked finance to get going because training is like, to train as a skincare practitioner is so costly. So the risk I took was to use part of my fees for the training.
Okay, now we know the confession. Okay. No, she's talking on her phone. Go on.
Hoping that somewhere in the nearest future I will get to employ, train other people. But right now, after the training, getting capital to get the raw materials and all, so it's kind of a problem to me. So if the e-jobs for all can somehow help me to raise a starting capital, so I could also employ people.
It's only representative. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So just before we do the closing, or take the closing remarks from our chair, we have the troop from Kumasi to just give us a performance, a quick one, and then our chair, Professor Ada, will give us the closing remarks. Let's have it now.